Alright, this is Dora smokes weed / arrested. So let's get going on this one. And let's not mute it. This is like something out of a Scooby-Doo thing, although I wonder if this was intentional since Samster does make Scooby-Doo related videos. Is this any way to turn this up a little bit more? Yeah, I was like, that's way too soft. I can't hear what's going on.
Let's see if there's anything good on TV.
Oh. Shaggy and Scooby, how dare you spend all of my money on Big Macs? That's it. It's concussion time.
Because that's how the real Scooby-Doo went. I get it, he's referencing his other series. It's just... like, zoink, Scoob!
No, I don't want to watch Fred give people concussions. I'm changing the channel.
10th and final punishment, chopping your head off with a chainsaw.
Go animate Chainsaw Massacre? Like, I don't know.
No. Please don't chop my head off, Dad.
Oh my god, I think I'm scarred for life now. Why is that even on TV? Let's hope something better comes on when I change the channel.
Well, could it be worse?
Hey kids, it's Barney. Hey, you always wanted to smoke weed like Snoop Dogg.
So I take it this is... is this... Never mind.
If so, then you're in luck, because Barney's weed cigarettes are now for sale. You can get one cigarette for only $99.99. So what are you waiting for? Buy Barney's weed cigarettes now before the cops arrest you.
Well, depending on if this is the kids' version of Barney or the Drew Pickles version of Barney, I don't know if that's why they'd be arresting you. But, whatever.
And if you don't, then you will be grounded for 1, 2, 8, 4, 8, 9, 3, 4, 9, 8, 3, 4, 2, 3 years.
Wow, I just need to have a pack of Barney's with cigarettes.
Weed cigarettes? I thought they're called joints. Like, Barney, if you're gonna be a stoner, how about you get the terminology right at least, eh?
He didn't.
You know, and I just realized that by saying that, that implies that I smoke. Which I actually don't, despite me saying that all the time. I just think that that's hilarious because Snoop Dogg was so brazen when he said that I just can't help but laugh. Plus, it also doesn't help that people make remixes out of that song. Like, there's one where Mario's going through the first level in Mario, and he's saying, smoke weed every day to the music, and it's like, oh my god. And then he gets the invincibility star, but it's a weed leaf, and then he just slides down the flagpole, weed, it's like, oh my god. You know? So whenever I hear that phrase, I think I subconsciously think of those. So that also kind of makes me just think the whole thing's hilarious.
Really say where to get them though, but I'm assuming you'll be selling them in the McDonald's parking lot since he's so fat. Also, I don't have any money to buy them.
That's, well, not racist, but something. Adds one sin.
But that's okay because I can just take a cigarette and run. It's time to go steal some weed.
Wow! She knew he'd actually be there!
Hey look, there he is.
Hey, Dora, would you like to buy one of Barney's?
Actually, oh god, this is the Drew Pickles version of Barney, isn't it? Because he's out front of Ronald McDonald's restaurant.
Weed cigarettes for only $99.99.
I would, but the only problem is, I don't have any money.
Oh, well, I guess you can buy one then. Sorry.
Well, I may not be able to buy one, but I can still manage to get one.
Hey!
Yeah, seriously, like, stop monologuing! Just... I shouldn't be giving people tips, but if you're gonna do it, how about you just take it and run? And also, I believe she went underneath the text right there.
Able to buy one, but I can still manage to get one.
Yeah! I'm not sure I haven't smoked one of them before I watched this, eh?
Hey, get back here right now.
Ha 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 ha. Screw.
Oh no, now we got ha 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 from... I'm convinced this is a crossover with Speakonia universe.
You, Barney, you're way too fat to even come close to catching up with me. It's time to go smoke some weed.
Smoke weed every day.
Smoke weed every day. Hold up, don't. Hey. Oh no, busted.
Oh my god, why is the fire alarm going off? I'd better go see if there's a fire upstairs.
If there's a fire, that's no good.
No. Miguel, get up here with the fire extinguisher right now. There's smoke coming from Dora's room.
Okay, in all seriousness, don't do this. Like, if there's smoke in a room and you open the door, you could get fire to fly right in your face. I think it's called a backdraft. Whatever it is, it results from... So, okay, the fire uses up oxygen, and if it's in an enclosed room, it can sort of burn itself out, so it's just smoldering. But then when you open the door, oxygen and air rush in, and then the fire now has a huge fuel source and just whooshes back to life. Like, it can blast blast right in your face with fire and start spreading rapidly. So, unless you know that someone's in there, I would not open that door. That's very, very unwise. I mean, just call the fire department and let them handle it and get out of the house before the whole thing burns down, because it's contained as is, and you're basically saying, I don't want to contain it. Let's have it go freely to the rest of the house.
Can't find it. You think you should just call the fire department before the fire?
Say thank you. Dora's dad actually has sense.
Hello, is this the Ghost City Fire Department? My daughter's room. It's fire and I need you guys here ASAP. You'll be here in 5 minutes? Okay, great. Thank you so much. Oh crap, I have to make sure Dora isn't in the room.
What the heck, Mom? Don't bother me while I'm smoking weed.
Wow, that must be good she didn't hear the smoke detector going off and like try to conceal it at any point during that process. Oh look, now there really is a fire. See, this doesn't make any sense. So she's like, oh, there's a fire. Well, I need to make sure Dora's okay. It's all urgent. Then she gets pissed off and makes a real fire, but she just stands there and yells. Consistency.
Oh my freaking god. Dora, are you seriously smoking weed? Wow. Just wow. We all thought that there was a fire in your room, and so we called the fire department, who are on their way right now. Oh, and I can see them pulling up right now through your window. Thanks a lot, Dora. Oh my god, they just broke through your window to try and fight the fire. Wait, stop! There's no fire after all.
What? There's no fire?
Yeah, the fire that I started with my temper actually magically went out, so...
Then where's all the smoke coming from?
Well, my dumb daughter thought that it would be a good idea to smoke weed in her room, causing us all to think that there was a fire.
Oh my god. Marijuana is highly illegal in Go City, and so
You think he'd be more pissed about the fact that they deterred emergency services from where they're actually needed.
we may have to contact the authorities on this one.
Good. She deserves it for being such an idiot.
Okay, and see, I think this whole thing's stupid. If you smoke weed and drive, then yeah, like drinking and driving, you should get in trouble for that. But if you're just smoking it in your own room, who cares? Like, I'm sorry, but is it really worth ruining someone's life and sending them to jail over smoking weed, which doesn't hurt anybody in and of itself? Like, obviously, if you smoke weed and do something irresponsible, that's different. But it's doing the irresponsible thing where you have poor judgment, or because you have poor judgment, that is the problem, not the actual smoking itself. And I honestly think that people should be able to smoke weed and not go to jail. like real crimes out there, and we shouldn't be ruining people's lives over stuff that doesn't really matter.
Yeah. I don't want to get arrested.
Well, Dora, none of this would be happening if you hadn't made the dumb decision to smoke weed.
Well, Dora, you've really done it this time. Come on, get in the police car.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a uniform, but we trust him. Yeah, see, I don't agree with that. I really don't agree with that at all. That's... What she did was irresponsible and deterred emergency services from where it's needed, but that's what you should get her on, not for freaking smoking weed. You know, if anything, she should have said, oh, there's not really a fire, so they didn't call the fire department and they weren't deterred. That's what I would say is a real problem. The fact that she's smoking, I don't want to say I am... don't get me wrong, I'm not encouraging smoking weed, but if you're old enough to do it and you do it responsibly, I honestly don't see that it's worthy of going to jail over in and of itself. So I don't agree with that at all. And again, don't smoke weed, especially if you're young. It could actually, I think it actually could mess with you and in certain ways, like maybe how you develop when you get older. But I mean, it's certainly not a jailable offense just because of that. Now, is it? Like, just pointless.